Hey,
Hey, playing some Elden Ring?
how could you tell?
Cashier's HP bar just appeared.
Oh, come on! Elden Ring! We all know Elden Ring. The next logical step in yelling at your screen when you obviously dodged an attack, suddenly being stabbed in the back by an enemy hidden just beyond a corner with some insidious grin on its face, and wanting to experience this game with some sort of easy mode, but people being gatekeeping weirdos who think gaming is some eclectic high-class affair. I mean, the Souls-like of the decade that seamlessly blended FromSoftware's only thing they ever do, and an open-world game. You collect souls, now called runes, kill enemies, now called pits of fuckery that appear from nowhere and kill you, and explore the land, now called God damn it, I died again!
In true FromSoft fashion, this game is aggravating for several hundred million, thousand, billion, cajillion reasons. For about 4 of those reasons, I don't play these games. But James is addicted to them. He seeks them out and will put himself through a lot to see their completion.
I'm chasing that high I felt when I first played the original Demon Souls. I'll never forget beating that on my own. Not because the final boss is just a pile of shit, literally, but because of this one instance I went into a place I was definitely not supposed to be in yet. Beat it, and then went back to another spot and was way overpowered for it. So I was able to just walk through, killing Thulus left and right. It was amazing, inspired me to buy and play the remaster and attempt Elden Ring in 2022.
Under Chris's suggestion, I might add. Hungry for more after Demon Souls made him fight a pupe, he went searching. At which point Chris definitely said,
"The Elden Ring is always right."
Which led me to trying to beat this in 2022. I like to believe I made it pretty deep into the game, collecting weapons and dying thousands of times. I didn't beat it though, my sanity won out over trying to collect another million souls for piss poor stat increases. However, with Night Rain's release this year, it reignited a vigor in me that desires that Souls-like gameplay balance between finding crumbs of knowledge and healing and difficult combat. So here we are, friends. This time, however, we're playing it on my laptop. Now let's see why I'm wrong.
Equipment. Wow. Sharp.
In original flavor PS5 Elden Ring, my only interest was the strongest weapon that did the most damage and knocked the most enemies down so I could execute the best finisher. Not much else mattered. Being new to the world of Elden Ring, I went to our brother Chris again for advice, and he said,
Unequip everything, just use the Bloodhound's Fang.
which I then believed, sought out, and used exclusively. I poured every resource I had into this giant curved blade, completely unwilling to try anything else.
sounds like a winning strategy.
Oh. Uh-oh. Damn it.
What just happened? What? Oh, okay.
It isn't. So this time I decided to do something no one in any Souls game has ever done in their entire lives. Have fun.
That's not possible. You're only allowed to experience misery when playing these games.
Say that to my dual-wielded short swords. One causes sleep, the other is strong. Or my dual-wielded katanas. One causes blood loss, the other causes blood loss.
Nice variety of weapons you have there.
In addition to learning how sickeningly awesome dual wielding is, I also played with the Ashes of War and added poisoning to my first katana. It took me nearly 70 hours to find a second one viable enough to serve alongside the one I've had since the beginning, but it was worth it. Ashes of War, for the Andy in the audience who doesn't know these things, are just skills you can attach to weapons to add extra effects. After I gave my first katana Poison Mist, I was able to disintegrate enemies much faster.
Because of the poison buildup on top of the blood loss, right?
Very good!
We played Night Rain together, James. Don't talk down to me.
Level 1!
Oh yeah!
Do you have runes?
No.
Yeah,
What
he
the
doesn't
heck?
get to enjoy all the prizes we
Yeah,
got.
fuck this fucking game.
I did nearly as much research as you did to become an effective team member. I even played some of it by myself.
That doesn't sound so bad.
For you? It was agonizing for me. Point is, don't talk to me like that.
I still might. With the Ashes of War being something I rarely touched but still found fun in collecting, weapons had a lot more grab for me. I also found out you can extract weapons from great runes you get from the Elden Lords. I'm not sure what this is about, but I got a dragon-headed fist weapon I never use. I poured my level ups into intelligence just so I could try it and still never did.
It sounds like you learned absolutely nothing after sucking at Elden Ring for over 120 hours.
Hey, I learned weapon variation is important, and most of all, fun. First of all, no one told me how susceptible to sleep everything is. St. Trina's Blade, or whatever it's called, causes sleep buildup, which trolls, human-type enemies, and Godskin apostles are weak to. In fact, I got one of the latter enemies to fall asleep in the middle of his second phase. His music stopped, the danger my character sensed disappeared, and I got a critical strike that cut the battle in half. I was dumbfounded.
Did you name your character Andy but cool?
Yeah, because she has 2 katanas. That's double as cool as you.
Nothing is cool with a hat that's silly.
In addition to my 2 swords I will bring up every time I can, both short and sharp, I found the Family Heads, which is a club. The only club I'm using. The only club anyone should use. Specifically because of the magic.
Point 1A, James learned about that one thing that breaks all Souls games. Magic.
I mean, kind of. I use the Family Rancor a lot, and it does melt things fast, which is very nice. Being able to ruin demi-human queens from that far away is a treat. Also, killing things a floor above or below you feels pretty damn good.
That's what happens when you listen to the entire Souls game community as a whole and actually invest in something that helps you.
Stat building.
Strength.
Intelligence.
What does arcane do?
Familiar with Souls games? Then you know how important it is to feed runes into stats that matter, like HP, stamina, strength, and arcane. Well, in my original playthrough, I limited myself by increasing things like dexterity and strength. Because of this, I wasn't allowed to wield things like Rivers of Blood, St. Trina's Sword, or most of the actually cool weapons.
Your stats do look quite balanced this time. You even fed some points into intelligence.
That's why I can say words like established and marksmanship and know what they mean.
That's exactly how that works.
I also realized that stat boosts via runes alone are minuscule at best. You'll need quite a few levels to notice an actual change in your strength or skills, which is why forging is so important. Because smithing stones grow out of the floor and are prizes for everything, you get a lot of them. I used them. Tons of them! The stat boost I received from 4 or 5 consecutive increases to the stats of my clubs and swords was a far better investment of my time than 40 more HP or 12 more stamina.
Did you die less?
I would say I died less to stupid shit and sudden battles. Because of my stronger weapons, I could handle some of the random dragons and bipedal bosses that dot the map. Also because Family Rancor, that skill saved my life dozens of times.
I like how far away you are from enemies when you activate it, as if to say, from afar of course.
Hey! I'll kick your butt!
While sending exploding ghost heads at them.
It's a winning strategy.
Traveling.
On foot.
By horse.
Fast travel.
That's about it.
Because I'd played through most of ER before, visiting familiar locations was fun because I knew where certain secrets were. It freed me up to find new paths, new sites of grace, new bosses and enemies. I had no idea these scary as fuck standing lizard creatures were an original flavor Elden Ring. I thought they were a Night Rain exclusive.
Nothing is a Night Rain exclusive.
Tell that to... You're probably right. With my knowledge of where certain items were and bosses to avoid, I was able to scope out new stuff I could rub my dead body all over. I was also able to rediscover my love for the regions in Elden Ring. Liurnia of the Lakes is my favorite by a long shot. Not sure why. I'm a huge fan of this giant open space where that rubble in the distance could be just that, or a lobster enemy. The fucking huge golden city takes spot number 2. The sewers and the city exploration are some of the best open world design I've seen in an abandoned area like this.
Is every building full of interesting things to find, enemies to surprise you that hide in the corner, and that one super special rare item that only opens after solving a puzzle in every house at the 5 points on the map?
No. Most buildings are destroyed or locked behind gross golden ooze.
Doesn't shock me.
Doesn't matter much. The areas you can get to are interesting and large enough that you don't notice what you can't get into because most of the streets are open, there are enemies everywhere, and you can even climb on this huge dragon statue. Travel in my second playthrough was so much more fun because I knew what to expect in most cases. Yeah, some dragons still surprised me and bosses still rocked my ass, but I had fun. I think part of it is the stronger weapons I held.
Plus you had 90 hours of practice in Night Rain to fall back on.
Andy recognizes a meme! This truly is a great day.
Scattered notes.
Elden Ring has taken on a new light to me. While I find myself getting more bored than entertained as I come to a pause point in the game where I have to defeat a major boss to be able to move on, this is definitely because when you come to an insurmountable boss in the game, you go back to the things you missed and or were difficult before, only to find they aren't as worth it to fight now. I need about 100,000 runes to level up once, and I'm going back to 11,000 rune bosses. Progress is slow.
Isn't there some accessory or item that could speed up the process? Or, you know, couldn't you just fight the boss that's stopping you?
There's temporary consumable items. Also, yeah, I could fight the boss, but they're difficult to fight together and can revive each other. So I'm retreating, attempting to power up, and putting lots of things to sleep.
Sounds effective.
To some degree it is. Healing. Healing is a problem in this game. A slow, pausing, animation locking problem. Unless you're on a horse. It slows you down, opens you up for attacks that take away what you just healed, and it's so fucking annoying. God, just speed it up, or let us dodge out of it. Something.
Or do what that one open world game we never talk about does. Let you pause, eat a meal for 6, and regain full health.
There's no pausing in these games, Andy.
You're doing that talking down thing again.
You're doing that asshole thing again.
I don't like these games. I'll always be a foil to them when they're discussed.
Fair enough. Portals. I fucking love portals. I love finding them, I love using them. There are fewer greater joys than finding a portal or even those trapped teleport chests and ending up somewhere completely new. Being stronger, more aware, and with better weapons, there wasn't a challenge I was teleported to that I couldn't handle, except the one under the beginning ruins. That teleport is kind of pointless. I love the portals. Huge fan of them. Game needed more.
Well, Chris did say,
There were portals in this game?
so I see your enthusiasm.
Unfortunately, I did not make it as deep into Elden Ring this time as I did the first. This is an absurdly frustrating game to play, specifically when bosses show up. Bosses that can summon other bosses, bosses that can revive other bosses in the middle of a fight. I beat these before somehow, but this is where I stop. I was ready to drop it when I fought the Fell Omen, even more when coming face to face with the Fire Giant, but this'll do it for me. There's simply too many tight corridors, enemies with a range that would impress any sharpshooter, and bosses that strike too hard for healing to matter. So this is where I stop playing. I cease bashing my head against the same wall, hoping for change, and decide instead to look back on the fun I had replaying this game.
How do you feel knowing you've donated just over 200 hours of your life to this game?
Sated, not satisfied, because the difficulty simply climbed too high and fucked me too many times for any rational human to have fun. But sated that I went through it again, found weapons I liked, and had genuine fun playing this game again. My first time was a stressful run because I didn't know a lot. This time I know way more. I feel comfortable and can approach new challenges with much better knowledge and weaponry. I enjoyed doing this again. I don't think I'd pick it up a third time though.
Give it 3 years, when another Night Rain spin-off releases and inspires you to play this again. Be aware though, we're not making a James was wrong about being wrong when he was wrong video, as much as I would enjoy that. Anyway, I think James is done.
I am.
What do you all think of Elden Ring?
I just told you.
Do you have a favorite boss?
No.
Why not like this video and subscribe about it?
I made it.
Comment something only a true Elden Ring fan would know, so James can chuckle warmly at the fact he got the reference. Also so I can judge you harshly.
He will.
Alright, bye.
Bye.